Okay guys, so quick video about sequences. I'm gonna try to do it as detailed as possible, but I'm not gonna bore you to death. So sequences. The most important thing when it comes to sequences is the nth term. It's also the easiest thing you have to know. Okay, so 3, 4, 5. This is the first term of the sequence, the second term of the sequence, the third. So let's say that the first term of the sequence was a 3. The second term of a sequence was 8. Then it's 13, then 18, then 23. Okay? So what the nth term is, how we get from the 1 to 3, from the 2 to 8. Or so how do we know that the fourth term is 18? How do we know that the fifth term is 23? For example, we could use the nth term to find out what's the 98th term of the sequence, okay? So what we basically do, the first step to find the nth term, is we find the difference between the consecutive terms. So the difference between 3 and 8 is a plus 5. The difference between 8 and 13 is a plus 5. Difference between 13 and 18 plus 5. It's going to be plus 5 like on and on. Okay? So we put the difference followed by n. So 5, whatever the difference is, and then after it we put n. Okay, so let's work with 5n. Let's see if it's 5n is correct. So 1 times 5, 5, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5, 15, 20, 25. Okay, is this the sequence we need? No, it's not. We still have to do one more step to get from 5, 10, 15 to 3, 8, 13. So the remaining step is just minus 2 from each one. So 5 minus 2, 10 minus 2, 15 minus 2. So first of all we do 5n, and then we do minus 2. Okay, so the nth term of this sequence, 3, 8, 13, 18, 23, is 5n minus 2. How do we check? Let's check with this one. What is n? N is 4. 5 times n is 20, minus 2 is 18. Okay, so if we use this formula, we'll get from 4 to 18. Let's say they ask you the question in the exam, find the, let's say, find the 10th term of the sequence, okay? Find the 10th term of the sequence. Okay. Okay, 10th term of the sequence. So, what is n in this case? Our n is 10, okay? This is n. So, 5n, which in this case it's 10 minus 2. So, it's 50 minus 2. The 10th term of the sequence is 48. Okay, by using this formula, we know the 10th term of the sequence. Okay, then next, okay. This is also a question I see in many past papers, and they use it a lot in exams. So find the n plus 1 term of the sequence. Okay, so we know that the nth term of the sequence is just how we get from this number to the number underneath it. How we get from the 4 to the 18. How do we get from the 3 to the 13. But how do we find the n plus 1? What is different this time? Okay, the difference this time is that instead of just going this direction, instead of just going from the 3 to the 13, we have to 313 plus 1 space. Okay? Okay, how do we find n plus 1? So basically, you're still doing the 5n minus 2 to get from this to this. And then you also have to go from here to here. What do you do from here to here? You just plus 5. So our formula, the nth term is 5n minus 2, right? 5n minus 2 to get to this. And then to get to the 18, we have to add the difference, which is 5. So the n plus 1 is 5n minus 2 plus 5, which is the same as 5n plus 3. Okay, so to find the term after it, we have to do 5n plus 3. Let's try with the 4. So if we do 5n, 5 times 4 is 20, and then plus 3, it's 23. So we find the term after it, not the term directly underneath it, okay? Okay, so this is for the nth term. Okay, then you have the second formula, which you have to memorize, and it's okay. It's un equals equals a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so un is what term of the sequence it is. Okay, so let's say if it was if it said find the u16, it means the 16th term. Okay, find the 16th term of the sequence. Okay, and then the a means the first term of the sequence. For example, here the first term was 3. Okay, and then the d is the common difference. Okay, so here, for example, in this sequence we drew previously, the a, the first term was 3 and the common difference was 5. Okay, so let's take a different sequence. Let's say our sequence this time is 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, this is our sequence. So how do I apply this formula to find this? Okay, so they tell you find the 16th term of the sequence. Okay, as we said, un is what term you need to find. Okay, so you say u16, the 16th term is a is the first term. Remember, first letter of the alphabet, first term. So the first term here is 5. Okay, so we put 5 plus n minus 1. N is the number you need to find, so we're finding the 16th term, so we write 16 minus 1, and then multiplied by d, which is the common difference. The common difference here between each one, it's gonna be plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Okay, so 16 minus 1 times d, which is also times 2. Okay, so the 16th term of the sequence equals 5 plus 16 minus 1, 15 times 2. Okay, 15 times 2, it's 30, plus 5, it's 35. So the 16th term of the sequence is going to be 35. Okay, this is how you use the formula un equals a plus n minus 1d. Okay, this is to find a specific term of the sequence. Okay, then second thing is finding the sum of an arithmetic formula. Okay, in order to find the sum, there's a formula you need to memorize. I think it might be actually like given to you in the formula worksheet. So S of n, the sum, equals n divided 2. If you don't understand this, wait, I'll explain in a moment. 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, this is the sum of a sequence. So they might tell you find the sum of the first find the sum of the first 18 terms of the sequence. Okay, they won't give you all the 18 terms. That's the obvious thing. They'll just give you like let's say they might give you 4 terms. They might give you 6, 10, 14, 18. Okay, and they need you to find the sum of the first 18 terms of the sequence. Okay, so Sn, let's write it. Sn is always the number you need to find. So the sum of 18 equals n is 18 over 2, 2a. As we previously said, a means the first term of the sequence. Okay, always remember this. So 2a, the first term of the sequence here is 6. So 2 times 6 plus n minus 1. We said n is 18 because we're finding the sum of the first 18 numbers. So 18 minus 1 times the difference. In this case, the difference it's gonna be the difference is gonna be plus 4 plus 4. Okay, so times the difference, which is 4. Okay, and then you just put all of this in your calculator. Okay, so we say the sum of the first 18 terms is 18 divided 2, 9 times 2 times 6, 12 plus 18 minus 1, 17 times 4. Okay, 17 times 4. Okay, this we simplified it. You can put it in your calculator as this, and then so if we calculate 12 plus 17 times 4, it's gonna be 80. So it's the same as 9 times 80, and then 9 times 80, it's gonna be 720. Okay, so we can say that the sum of the first 18 terms of this sequence is gonna be 720. Okay, okay. If you get stuck in the exam, let's say you just get stuck for a random reason or something, what you can easily do is just, they tell you the first 18 terms, just put 6 plus 10 plus 14 plus 18 and keep going on and on, writing the first 18 numbers, so plus 22 plus 26 plus 30, but this is gonna take you a lot of time. So just memorize the formula, and I even think they give you it in the formula sheet, so you're fine. And then okay, I think there is only one more thing about sequences. Just let me check. Okay, there is the nth term, the n plus 1. Okay, the common difference. Okay, now let's do just one application question, quick, where you have to use both the nth term and the sum, the formula for the sum. Okay, so it is okay. Okay, how many terms of this sequence must be added to give a total more than 150? Okay, so how many terms of the sequence do we have to add in order to get a total more than 150? So the terms of the sequence are 4, 9, 14, 19. Okay, this is all they give us in the question. 4, 9, 14, 19. Okay, let's add these together. So 4 plus 9 plus 14 plus 19 is gonna give us 46 only. Okay, how many more numbers do we have to add to get over 150? Okay, so what we do is so we're gonna say they're asking added, so we know we have to use the sum formula. Okay, so s of a random number, we don't know how many numbers we're gonna add. S, the sum, is gonna equal n over 2. We're gonna use the formula for the sum, which is written here. So s equals n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so if we put all the information we know, we might not know some of the values, but we'll try to fill in everything we know. Okay, so do we know the sum? Yeah, the sum we know. They told us more than 150, so we're gonna go with 150. 150, okay? Our sum is 150, the target we're gonna hit. And then n divided by 2. Do we know how many terms we need? No, that's the question. How many terms of this sequence? So we still don't know n. N is unknown. N divided by 2. Do we know a, which is the first term? Okay, here it's clear. The first term, this is a. So 2a, 2 times 4. And then plus n minus 1, as we previously said. N, we still don't know it. That's the thing we're trying to figure out. So n minus 1 is going to remain the same. The difference, do we know the common difference? Let's see. So it's plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, okay? Plus 5 each time. So times the common difference, which is 5. Okay, so we do have like most of the values. We only have one unknown value, which is n. If we have one unknown value, it's like really easy to solve, okay? You just have to rearrange it. So let's times both sides by 2. If we times this by 2 and this by 2, if we times this side by 2, what we'll get is we'll just cancel the divided by 2 here, so it's gonna become n 2 times 4 plus n minus 1, 5. Okay, this is if we times it by 2. And then we also multiply this by 2, so it's going to become 300. 300 equals n 2 times 4 plus n minus 1, 5. Okay, let's simplify it. 300 equals n, and then 8, 2 times 4, plus 5 times n minus 1, it's going to be 5n minus 5. Okay, so just expand the brackets. 5 times n minus 1, 5n minus 5. Okay, so 300 equals n between brackets 8 plus 5n minus 5. Then it's easy, you just have to expand the brackets. It's like skills you have gained from other topics. It's so 300 equals 8n, expand n times 8, n times 5n plus 5n squared, n times negative 5 minus 5n. Okay, so 300 equals 8n plus 5n squared minus 5n. Let's rearrange this into a quadratic. So it becomes 5n squared plus 8n minus 5n, so plus 3n, and then we move the 300 to the other side. Minus 300 is gonna equal to 0. Okay, if we move the 300 and we take it to here, it becomes minus 300. So 5n squared plus 3n minus 300 equals 0. Okay, and then just use the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Again, this will be given to you in the formula booklet, so like you don't need to memorize it. As you know, this is a, this is b, this is c. Okay, so negative b, it's gonna be do this on the calculator. Negative b, so negative 3 plus the square root of b squared, so 9, the square root of 9, minus 4 times a times c, so minus 4 times 5 times negative 300. Okay, minus 4 times a times c over 2a, which a is 5, so over 10. Okay, 7.45. Okay, so n equals 7.45. This is the number of terms we need to get to 150. Okay, but we can't have 7.45 terms, right? We either need to have okay, so we've reached this point. We have n equals 7.45. okay, but they told us a number of terms, so it has to be either 7 or it has to be 8. Okay, they told us the terms of the sequence must be added up to give a total more than 150. More, immediately we go to the bigger number. So if we add the first 8 terms of this sequence, we will get a total greater than 150. Okay, let's check. Okay, so what are the first 8 terms of the sequence? Okay, so let's say it's 4, then 9, then 14, then 19, The next is gonna be 24, 29, 34. Now we have 7 terms and 39. Okay? Okay. So 4 plus 9 plus 14 plus 19 plus 24 plus 29 plus 34 plus 39. A total of 172. Okay? So 8 terms equals 172. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so basically that's a total greater than 150. So yeah, it has worked. And then, okay, I swear this is the last thing I'm gonna do. There's, okay, last question. Last question. I got it from Dr. Frost, but it's pretty hard. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so the 17th term of a sequence is 291, and the 26th term of a sequence is 435. Okay, so we know when so if we start counting up, the 17th number will be 291, and the 26th term will be 435. Oh wait, my throat hurts. Yeah, what is it called? Okay, and then they want us to, the question is, find the value of the 44th term. Okay, okay, so we know 17th term is 291, 26th term is 435. What is the 44th term? Okay, 44th term. First of all, we have to know that they aren't asking us for the sum, so just forget the formula of the sum. We're gonna use the formula, which is un equals a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so okay, let's put the numbers into the formula. So the 44th term equals the first term, we don't know the first term yet, plus 44 minus 1. Okay, we know that that n is going to be 44. So 44 minus 1, 43 times d. We still don't know d. We have 2 unknowns. We still have to figure out, we still have to do more steps. Okay, so the 44th term is the first number plus 43 times the difference. Okay, so we know that, let's say, okay, we know that the difference between the 17th, they gave us 2 terms, 17th and 26th. So always like focus on what they give you. They didn't give you it for no reason. You have to use these values, okay? So from the 17th to the 26th term, what's the difference between the 26th and the 17th? So 435 minus 291, the difference is 144. Okay, okay, so 144, the 17th term plus 9d is 26, because each time you increase, for example, when you go to the 18th term, you're adding 1 difference. So to the 18th you add 1 difference, to the 19th another difference. So from the 17th to the 26th you add 9 differences. Okay, so we know 9 differences are 144. So 9d equal 144, d equal 144 divided by 9, which is 16. Okay, we know d equals 16. We put the d back into the formula where we started. So now we have u44 equals a, we still don't know a, plus 43 times d, which we found out to be 16. Okay, so the 44th term is a plus 43 plus 16. Okay, now we need to know a. Okay, how do we find out A? They told us that the 17th term is 291, right? Okay, so how do we get from the 17th term to the first term? We need the first term, right? We need A. How do we get there? We minus 16 differences. 17 to 1. Each time you go down, so from the 16th term, you minus 1 difference. So from the 17th term to the first term, you minus 16 differences. We know that a difference is equal to 16, so we minus 16 times 16. Okay, so what is the 17th term? 291 minus 16 times 16. The 17th term minus 16 differences, which is 35. So what we know is A equals 35, the first term of the sequence. Okay, we arrange it. U44. We still don't know what U44 is. So like that's the 44th term. Equals 35 plus 43 times 16. Okay? We just put it into the calculator. 35 plus 43 times 16 equals 723. Okay, so we've reached 723. The 44th term of this sequence is 723. Okay, thanks for watching, and